Good Monday morning. You had a pretty bad weekend for the Yankees, losing 2 out of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles, and Yankee fans taking their offseason anger. I've got the hiccups this morning, which really adds to my my costume I'll talk about in a second. See when they go away. Yankee fans' offseason frustration leads into a regular season frustration. You got the Mets winning 2 out of 3, and we've got the best manager in baseball. We've got the smartest manager in baseball, a guy who knows rules that not everybody else knows, and he's pulling one over on you. Even A-Rod last night on the Manning cast called him the, quote, Nick Sabian of baseball as he screwed that whole thing up. But really the story is today our Boston Celtics. What an amazing, gritty, gutsy effort by Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and the bunch. I mean, to be down in the way that they were and then to not have the timeout called because of the faith in our group, and to have Jason Tatum get that pass from Marcus Smart with 3.5 seconds left. Marcus Smart doesn't shoot the three. A guy who loves to shoot that three finds the best player in the court. A little spin, a little layup, and a 1-0 lead for the Celtics. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
I love your leprechaun outfit this morning. Oh, my God.
It's a little snug. It's a little snug.
It is a little It is a little snug, yes.
Let's go, Boston.
I mean, oh, my God.
I knew I had one of these things in my office. Whatever this thing is, a shillelagh.
Shillelagh. I cannot look at you and try to even say anything serious. I just can't. Oh,
thank God they won.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
I'll tell you what. If the NBA officiating is going to let the Boston Celtics play like the Boston Bruins, Kevin Durant's going to have a hell of a time. And you know the one thing I will say, watching this game and watching it from start to finish and then rewatching the highlights here. So it really starts at 5 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah.
And there were so many little things that the Nets could have done in order to seal the win that they didn't do. And I mean, missed shots, missed free throws, couldn't get a stop on defense. And I'm just telling you right now, I don't really want to get on him because I like him and I think he's in a really impossible situation and has been for 3 years. But I'm not really sure what Steve Nash is doing because they have no offense other than give the ball to either Kyrie or Kevin. And they're so great and they're such amazing players that they can go get whatever shot they want. But when you got to do it for 48 minutes.
Well, against a team that actually plays defense.
Well, and you could see yesterday their defense was, and we were talking about this morning, you came in, double Kyrie, double Kevin, double Kyrie, double Kevin. And I mean, they were all over Kevin Durant in the first half.
Well,
I mean, all over, forcing turnovers, banging him, and just absolutely hitting him and playing physical with him. You know, if Dragic hits a three-point attempt that's wide open under 5 minutes, if Claxton hits 2 free throws, if they rebound a little bit better, they got to get a couple stops. You know, they had a couple open misses. Maybe they win the game. The game was a great game. I mean, and there's going to be 6 more of these games.
No, I mean, this is going to be, whatever team comes out of this series is definitely going to have gone through a war, I think. And it's going to be difficult for them to keep going, whether it's the Celtics or the Nets, because this one's going to, in my opinion, after what I saw yesterday, this is going 7, and every one of these games is going to be a 5-point differential or less because they are both so damn good. But they're good in different ways. Obviously, Tatum is a superstar. There's no doubt about it. But they're more of a team, more team basketball. And then you've just got the top of the talent in the NBA with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving doing what they do. And Kyrie, of course, getting into it severely with the fans. And the fans are all over his ass, as we know. I think it inspires him to play better. I really do. Like, the fans think they're getting to him. I mean, when he is on and he's hitting shots, he is the smoothest, most lethal player. One of, I should say.
Well, I mean, Kevin Durant's pretty lethal.
No. But I see even more so with Kyrie because of his ball handling and the fact that he can't just elevate over everybody. Like Kevin Durant can elevate over everybody.
Yeah.
Kyrie has to create more to get those open shots. It's ridiculous what he does. I mean,
I just think it's, their offense is just those two dribbling and moving around and, either passing it or shooting it. I mean, that's basically what their offense is. I don't know if there needs to be like it just seems to me it's like let's just run down there, give it to them, let them create their plays. And then if they get the shot, they get the shot. If they don't,
well, let me ask you, like, what would you do then if you were Steve Nash, if you have these two guys? Like, I feel like I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah, I guess you have no other choice. But, and then the other three guys just stand around and watch. And that's one of the reasons why, or at least early in the game anyway, rebounding, I don't know. I don't know what they were doing on the defensive boards because the offensive boards, you could just stand there and, you got your two guys in your corner. You got your one guy floating around the middle trying to stay out of the way. But I can't sit here and argue with it other than the fact that, they both played their asses off. They both scored a ton of points. Kevin didn't have one of his better games. But then again, that's due in large part to what Boston was doing to him.
Yeah, and they were comfortable with Jason Tatum on Kevin Durant a lot of the game. Just one-on-one. They were comfortable with it. And there was a couple of block shots there by Tatum, and obviously Tatum was on him on that final shot that was a miss, that was really a force at that point. Once Kyrie was doubled and kicked it back out to Kevin Durant, and then that led to the game-winning layup from Jason Tatum. But, Tatum, if Tatum takes down these two guys with the types of games that he had yesterday, then there is no more discussing whether or not he is an upper echelon superstar, because and the fact that this was what would scare me if I were a Nets fan, is the way that final possession went. Because here you have a team that has a timeout left. They don't call a timeout. And then under pressure are moving the ball in the way that they are and find their best player for a layup. Like, does that happen with the Nets? No. In their most important possessions, it's basically give it to the best players and then have them shoot a three. Like that, So you're right about, you're talking about team basketball as opposed to superstar basketball,
right? And the superstars came to play. There's no question about it. But I also think that the Celtics' strategy on defense, it's a 1-point game. I mean, it can go either way. I mean, the fact that the Nets got down by 15 in the start of the second half, and then were able to come all the way back and then take the lead and have a chance to extend the lead from 5 points to it was either 7 or 8 points. I forget which one it was, but under 5 minutes, you got to just you can't sit here and just say this guy blew it or that guy blew it. I mean, it came down to the last shot.
This is going to be a great series. In no way the Nets are out of this. I mean, I just said I think it's going to go 7 games, and obviously I'm rooting for the Celtics, but I'm not.
What makes us think that you're rooting for the Celtics?
Right. I also I made another purchase too. Not something like this ridiculous, but I bought another Celtics thing for Wednesday.
Now, do you think when Sabrina gets up this morning,
she's on her way to Pittsburgh?
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's not going to be able to see this.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it's too bad.
My week of Al Dukes has started.
Oh, it has started. Okay, so she's not going to be able to see this today. Daddy's in a green little leprechaun outfit.
That is right. I mean, maybe right before they leave. Because they're leaving in a little bit, maybe right before they leave. But yeah. So
you got to stand up. Stand up for a second.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Yeah, let's see what you got here. You got the whole outfit on.
Oh yeah,
I mean the whole outfit.
I put the pants on too. Yeah.
Your pants are a little snug.
Oh yeah, everything's snug. Man.
It looks like those are tights that you're wearing below the waist.
Yeah, they're not, but they might as well be at this point.
Now,
I got them on over my jeans, by the way. So.
Oh, you do? That's the problem.
Yeah, that's why. I wasn't gonna just put those pants.
Well,
on.
There you go. So now you're just totally antagonizing all the Net fans around here.
Yeah, all the Net fans around here.
All
that's
the
right.
Net fans.
All
the
Nets fans.
Yes.
I mean, I used to come in here, and Keith McPherson would leave me like little notes when the Nets were doing well. So, I mean, turnabout's fair play. Right?
I guess so, yes.
I should get the little dweeb Net fan thing. I'll get it in the break. Put it up here in the front.
Would they allow you to do that?
What, the dweeb Net fan picture? Yeah, why not?
They wouldn't let you put up the Ford Tough sign.
Oh, yeah. You mean this sign here?
Yeah,
that wasn't allowed to put up? This one right here?
Yeah, that sign right there,
This is the one you're talking about?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, there. That's the one,
right.
yes.
Just making sure.
All right. Yeah. But, so you got basically that was a war yesterday.
Yeah, I know. But
and I'm not all that worried about Kyrie Irving flipping off the fans and all that other stuff. Who knows what they were saying to him? I mean, at some point, there's got to be a little bit of
Well,
decorum.
all right. So
There's
there's one video. Now I can't believe I'm going to sit here and say this either. But I mean, like, I don't blame him at all. Like, because these people are all over his ass. But you said who knows what they were saying to him. There's one video as he's walking to the locker room where a guy just goes, "Kyrie, you suck," and he responds with, "Suck my bleep, bleep." So that's like the exchange that went back. You know, he took it to another level after "you suck." And
Yeah,
then
but
also a lot of middle fingers, and then.
But he'd been dealing with it for 3.5 hours, and I'm sure it was in pregame.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I'm
enough's
sure
enough. I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, all right,
Nobody's winning in
we
this.
get it. You hate him. You know, he screwed you.
Right.
So what? Now just go and beat him. The best thing you could have happen is what happened yesterday. Is be able to walk off the court winners. That's the point, because especially he had the best game out of everybody.
Oh, he did. I mean, I think it actually inspires him to play better. I mean, rooting against him is so hard to do when he's on, because it's just like every time he gets the ball. Like, I hate to make this comparison, but I will, and I'm not saying that he's this guy.
Then why make the comparison?
Because it reminds me of when I was a kid watching
Reggie
the
Miller?
Knicks. Yeah, and Reggie Miller. And every time he got the ball, I'm like, this son of a bitch is going to sink a three.
Well, he's better than Reggie
I
Miller.
know, I know he is, but I mean, you're talking '90s basketball, but that's basically he's more talented than Reggie Miller.
Yes.
But Reggie Miller's a Hall of Famer. Let's not forget.
Well, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying this guy's a Hall
He's
of Famer.
more talented, yeah.
If Kyrie wasn't as screwy as he is,
Right.
he'd be a Hall of Famer's Hall of Famer. That's how good he is.
Right, but that's
But he's
like-
got all this other crap and
I
stuff
know.
around him and all this other nonsense that drives fans like Boston fans crazy, and I'm sure Cleveland fans crazy, and at times Net fans crazy. But if this is the version of Kyrie you're going to get, and Steve Nash is just going to throw the ball out there and say, "Okay, you two guys go do what you do," then the other three got to play off of you, whoever's out there with you, then we'll figure it out.
Did you
'cause
feel
that's
like-
basically what they're doing?
Do you feel like you were watching a different NBA game? Like, do
Yeah,
you feel-
100%.
Yeah, of course.
This is where they earn their money, and they did. Kevin Durant earned his money yesterday. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that's physical basketball. That reminded me of '90s Knicks basketball.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I mean, I know it's been.
It's not quite that physical.
I know, but
yeah.
I know it's been intense over the last few years. But for whatever reason, yesterday there was an intensity to this game that that as a fan you could truly appreciate watching it.
Yeah.
Like this was like NHL playoff hockey yesterday.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they're just going to need a performance out of somebody who isn't one of those two guys.
Well, Dragic had a wide open three that he missed.
Yeah, I don't
wide
know if
open
it's good-
three. It
yeah.
wasn't even close, by the way.
No, I know. I mean, and that's just a moment. I'm talking about like for a full game.
And it turned out yesterday, I think both Van Gundy and Mark Jackson both said it when Nick Claxton went to the line, that the Nets did a favor by handing Nick the ball, and then Nick is a good defender, good rebounder. He'll get his points around the basket, his putbacks and everything, but he's a horrific free throw shooter.
Yeah.
And it showed itself yesterday in the big spot in the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, whether it's Dragic, whether it's Patty Mills, I don't think it'll be Claxton, but it could be. I mean, Andre Drummond's got his particular role on this team, but somebody's going to have to step up and carry them. I mean, I remember last year it was how bad Joe Harris was in the playoffs. They were leaning on him. It could be Seth Curry. Someone to just carry this team, who's open, who has those opportunities because they're so focused on Durant and they're so focused on Kyrie.
Yeah, but those two guys touch the ball so much, and it's every.
No, I know, but that's what's it's gonna have to take. I mean, even the best teams, in the history of the NBA, Robert Horry made a name for hitting those
living
big
off
shots.
of other guys, living off of other the star players, and then he
Yes.
becomes a star himself. But the whole thing about this is, remember when I think it was early in his career, everybody was saying, LeBron's deferring to his teammates in the big moments of the big games.
Yeah, stupid.
Right, completely stupid, because what LeBron was doing was passing over double teams to a wide open, teammate, and then that teammate would make the shot or miss the shot, and then if they missed the shot, everybody blamed LeBron because he wouldn't take the ball. Like, how is Kevin Durant supposed to, fight through three guys that are coming at him?
Yeah, I mean, well,
He's got to pass the ball.
and sometimes he does. A lot of times he does.
No, he does. But
You know?
I just think like there's no rhyme or reason to their offense. To me, it's just give the ball to one of those two guys, let them dribble around. Maybe there might be a high pick and roll or something, and then they'll go to the basket, and they'll either be somebody will be open like you were talking about, and they'll make the shot, or one of those two guys are going to make an incredible shot or force a shot.
Yeah. It's going to be a great series, though, and I hate the way they spread out these first-round series in the NBA. And, you know, there's not another game till Wednesday.
They need a rest.
It's ridiculous. I know, but still.
Kevin Durant's going to wake up this morning feeling like he was a quarterback in an NFL game. He reminded me of Patrick Mahomes versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. He's running all over the place and getting hit. And, and then the other thing, watching this game is, Tatum's a star.
Oh, no,
he is
hands down.
100% a star.
Yeah,
hands down a star. And the other guy, Marcus Smart, is a guy that, he's a how do you describe like a poor man's Kyrie Irving? But he understands the game. Like you can see he understands the game. Like he knows how to play with the IQ and just the understanding of where to be, how to play defense. And that last pass.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, that's great basketball.
He's got two guys running right at him, 3.5 seconds to go, and to have the wherewithal to put the ball on the ground, dribble out of that, and then find Jason Tatum streaking to the basket. I mean,
but the other good thing about Jason Tatum on that play, and this is where it's the same thing in the game of hockey, same amount of guys. Like you got to stay moving. You can't keep your feet like anchored to the basket to the floor.
Yeah.
And Tatum is out there, off the elbow, and he decides, okay, I'm going to go get a rebound, or I'm going to go to the basket, and they find him, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good things happen when you go to the net, go to the basket, that kind of thing, especially late in a game like that. I don't know. That was, I have to say,
great game. Awesome
that
game.
was an incredibly physical, awesome game. It was.
All right, Boomer and G.